Hello and welcome to today's practice. Today's practice will be a yin yoga practice focusing on using the wall as our prop today. So go ahead and set yourself up next to a wall space wherever you are. If you are on a soft surface like carpet or a rug, you don't even need a mat. If you are on a harder surface like floorboards or tiles, you may like to grab a mat or a blanket just so it's a little bit softer underneath the body. Otherwise, go ahead and set yourself up next to a wall. You don't need any other specific props, but of course, if you would like to use anything else, you're more than welcome. So using the wall can be really good because we all have access to a wall. So it can be really great to help support the body when we don't have access to resources and supports like we would at a studio. And we can also really be in control of how strong the sensation or how deep and dynamic we come into each shape with the wall as well. So it's very adjustable, very adaptable, which is why I love to work with it. So we are going to start in a position called legs up the wall. So if you come to sit side onto the wall, just leave a little bit of space between your body and the wall. So you'll come to sit side on there, come over onto the back, and then bring the legs to the wall and shuffle across, adjusting through your back as you need. Now you want the heels to rest onto the wall, and you want to be able to relax through the leg muscles. So you might need to shuffle back a bit, or you might even need to come closer to the wall, depending on how that feels for you. And then you might like to place hands onto the belly. You might like arms by the body, or you might even like to cactus the arms behind you. That might feel really spacious. Taking any little wriggles, adjustments, and then softening the eyes down when you're ready. Taking a moment to arrive in the space. To notice the contact and sensation of the ground beneath you. And then noticing the connection and the sensation of the heels that are connected to the wall. And then take a nice big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll do that 2 more times. Big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, big breath in. Big breath out. And then on each breath out for the next few rounds, let the body soften into the shape. Let the back of the head melt into the floor. And the front of the face, soften. All of the muscles in this space relax. The shoulders, arms and hands melt into the floor. And the entire weight of the back surrenders into the floor. And the back of the hips and the buttocks melt into the floor. And then on the next breath out, the entire right leg relaxes even more. And then this time on your next breath out, the entire left leg relaxes even more. Noticing here what happens when there's lots of space. Acknowledging whatever pops up in the mind, whatever thoughts float through, and wherever the mind wanders. No judgment, just acknowledging. And then when you bear witness to that, softly guide awareness back to your breath. Softly guide awareness back to the sounds around you. Softly guide your awareness back to the physical space of the body. And taking a moment here to tune in and feel how this shape feels now compared to how the shape felt in those first few breaths. Maybe it feels the same. Maybe there feels like there's more length and openness, or perhaps more softness and surrender. We'll stay here for another minute or so. So you're welcome to stay as you are. Or you're welcome to have a little play and a little exploration with the legs. Maybe softly bring the legs out into a wider shape. See how that feels. Or perhaps you might even like to bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. And if you're changing the position of the legs, you might need to move a little forward or a little back out from the wall. That's okay. And if you have a go and none of those work, just bring the legs back. Enjoying the last few breaths here. Big breath in and a big sigh out. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more, just like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then in the next moment or two, when you're ready, we'll start to slowly transition out. You might like to bring a little wiggle through the fingers or the toes first, just to let our body know we're about to move, to give it time to transition out without jerking the body out of the shape. And then if you have changed the position of your legs, just bringing the legs back to center. And we'll start to softly bend the knees. And then just roll over to one side. You might like to bring the arm or the hands underneath the head and soften the eyes down. We'll just take a few moments here. And you can move away from the wall if you like. Tuning into any sensations you might notice here. Any little paths of energy that feel like they're shifting and moving back through the body. Just taking a little scan through the body, noticing what is present here as the body integrates the shape and integrates the releasing and the letting go. Take another few breaths here, another 2 to 3 rounds. And if you'd like to stay here a little longer, you can. And then just meet us when we're ready, or when you're ready. Otherwise, if you are ready to transition into the next shape, just softening the eyes back open And then we'll make our way back to the wall with the feet onto the wall. We'll just move back a little bit further away than what we were before. So just shuffling back a little bit and then bringing feet to the wall. Make sure your spine feels centered here, so you can lift the hips up and back down if you like. Maybe just releasing through the shoulders. And then we're going to move into a figure 4 opening, or a reclined pigeon, which is a great alternative to the regular pigeon. So we're going to start on the right side. We're going to bring the right ankle over to rest on the left thigh, just underneath the knee. And then just making sure that the buttocks and the backs of the hips are rested onto the floor. So if they're quite high off the floor, you may need to move back a little bit. And you just move the shoulders back. And then that might give you a little bit more space there. And then left foot just rests onto the wall, so there's a nice even line there. Hands, again, you can rest hands onto the belly, arms by the sides, or if you want to bring the arms overhead and give yourself a little more space, a little more opening there, you can. And then just have a little play with this shape for the first few moments. So the further you move out away from the wall, the more gentle the stretch and sensation will be. And then if you want to cultivate a deeper opening and a deeper sensation, then you can move closer towards the wall. That's going to make that sensation through the right buttocks and hip a little greater. Again, just making sure the body's rested on the floor. And then when you've found a particular shape that works for you, coming back to stillness. Softening the eyes back down. Noticing the connection of the back of the body to the floor beneath you. Noticing the connection of the right ankle rested onto the left thigh. And then notice the connection of that left foot planted to the wall, softening around this area where you can. You don't need to be forcing or pressing the foot against the wall. It's simply resting there. And taking a little scan through that right leg, notice where you feel the greatest sensation. And maybe you can feel the sensation in one particular spot. Or maybe there's a couple of spots where the sensation feels quite strong. And then when you have identified that spot or those spots of tension, you can use the breath to help soften and release through these spaces. So the next time that you breathe in, imagine breathing into this particular spot so that the breath creates opening and expansion. And then as you breathe out, allow the breath out to be the vessel that softens and releases these muscles and this particular spot. Breathing in, the breath creates opening. Breathing out, the breath creates a softness, a release, a relaxation. Staying with that for just another few rounds of breath. Or you can stay with that for the remainder of the hold on this side. Enjoying another 5 cycles of breath here. And then when you've taken those 5 breaths, you can go ahead and slowly release that right ankle and bring the foot back to the wall. And you can either just rest there, both feet planted to the wall, or if you want to roll over onto one side again, you're welcome to do that. And we'll just take about a minute in between sides so you can soften the eyes back down. And just tuning in, feeling how the right leg feels compared to the left. And then noticing any sensations, any pulsing or tingling that might be present. Taking just another 3 to 5 breaths here. And then when you've taken those breaths and you're ready, we'll slowly transition over to the other side. So if you're not already coming back to the wall, resetting yourself, feet to the wall. And then this time, left ankle will come over to rest on the right thigh. And then again, just moving either closer to the wall or further away, depending on what your body needs for this second side. And then again, you can place hands onto the belly. You might place arms by the sides, or perhaps arms overhead. That might create a little more space, a little more opening. Taking a little movement, a little exploration in this space. And then when you've had that play, that movement, and you've found somewhere that works for you on this side, settling back into stillness. Noticing the ground underneath the back of the body. Noticing the connection of the left ankle as it rests onto the right thigh. And then noticing the connection of the right foot to the wall as it rests there. Not pushing, not forcing, just softening and resting. And softening anywhere else throughout the body that could be relaxed a little more, that doesn't need to hold on. Taking a little scan through the left leg now. And noticing where you feel the greatest sensation here. And again, there might just be one particular spot, or there might be a few different spaces where you feel sensation. It might be the same spot or a different spot to the first side. And then once you have identified these areas of sensation and of tension, using the breath to help soften this. So on your next breath in, inhale into this specific spot, creating an opening and expansion. And then as you breathe out, allow that exhale to soften, release, and relax. Inhale to open. Exhale to release. You might do that just 1 or 2 times. Or you might stay with that for the remainder of the hold on this side. Taking another 5 cycles of breath here. And then when you've taken those few last breaths, softly release that left ankle from the right thigh, bring the foot back to the wall. You can either rest here or again option to come over and rest onto the side. You might come over to the same side or perhaps a different side. Soften the eyes down. And then after doing both sides, tuning into the left side of the body and seeing how that feels compared to the right side of the body. Noticing any sensations, any energy or shifts that might be present here for you. And then just allowing the body time and space to absorb that pose and integrate. Take another few breaths here. And then when you're ready, come back to meet the feet onto the wall if you're not already there. I'm going to move into a reclined twist. So we'll start with bringing the knees down to the left side. So with the feet on the wall, you're just going to bring the knees down to the left side and you're going to let the feet rest onto the wall. So it acts as a little support for you there. And then you're just going to bring the arms out wide. You can keep the head facing up towards the ceiling, or you might like to turn the head in the opposite direction, depending on how that feels for you. And if that top leg feels like it needs a little bit of anchoring, you can just pop left hand onto the leg for a few moments to help settle the body into the shape. Taking a nice big breath in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then one more just like that. On each breath in, allow the breath and the body to lift up and open. And then on each breath out, let each corner of your body completely melt down into the floor. Allow the body to be supported by the wall and the floor. And you can let go here. Take another 5 full breaths in and full breaths out. And then when you've taken those 5 breaths in your own time, there's no hurry, slowly bringing the knees back to center, bringing the feet back to the wall. You might even like to lift the hips and pop them back down to recenter the spine. Or you might even like to draw the knees into the chest, take a little rock side to side here. And then when you're ready, bring the feet back to the wall and transition over to the other side. So the right knees, or the knees will come down to the right side. And you can bring the arms out to the sides. Letting the feet rest onto the wall. So adjusting yourself closer to the wall or further away to allow you to find the perfect angle there. And then head might face towards the ceiling, or you might turn the head towards the left. Again, if that top leg needs a little anchoring into the shape, just pop your right hand onto that left thigh and softly draw the knees together. And then closing the eyes back down, finding stillness once again. As you breathe in here, allow the breath to lift and open through the body. And then as you breathe out, let the entire body soften into the floor a little more. Allow each corner of your body to melt down. Enjoying just a few more breaths here. Enjoying a final breath in and a final breath out. And then when you're ready, bringing the knees back to center. And either feet back to the wall, lifting the hips up and back down. Or you might like to draw the knees into the chest, take a few little rocks, a little hug into yourself. Taking as much time there as you need. And then when you feel ready, just rolling over to one side, making your way away from the wall and just into some space in Shavasana. So just lying down on the back or the side or the belly, whatever feels best for you. And if you have any props that you'd like to use, you're welcome. Otherwise, you can just lay here, making yourself nice and comfortable. Taking a few moments to allow your body to integrate all of those shapes, to integrate all of those sensations and releases. You might even like to take a final big breath in through the nose and a final big sigh out. Allowing for complete surrender here. And you can take as long as you like here. Spend as much time and space as you feel called to take. And then whenever you're ready, you can slowly transition out and back into your day.